This is the Book of Earth, Musashi's Book of Five Rings. No man is invincible. Did I read the Book of Earth? I don't think I did. It's too long. I only did 10 minutes the other day of this. Okay. No man is invincible, and therefore no man can fully understand that which would make him invincible. Even with complete and thorough study, there is always the possibility of being defeated, and although one may be expert in a particular form, mastery is something a man never stops seeking to attain. It is doubtful that anyone truly understands the real way of strategy, but much less truly lives it. Yet military leaders must have some understanding of strategy, and they must pass it on to their warriors, regardless of the limitations of their own understanding. There is no one way to salvation, whatever the manner in which a man may proceed. All forms and variations are governed by the eternal intelligence of the universe that enables a man to approach perfection. It may be in the arts of music and painting, or it may be in commerce, law, or medicine. It may be in the study of war or the study of peace. Each is as important as any other. Spiritual enlightenment through religious meditation, such as Zen, or in any other way, is as viable and functional as any way. Certainly in the way of the sword or the fist, a person should study as they see fit. A warrior should have an understanding of the peaceful arts as well as the killing arts. This is a twofold way. If a man chooses a certain way and seems to have no particular talent for this way, he can still become a master if he so chooses. By keeping at a particular form of study, a man can attain perfection either in this life or the next. The warrior, however, understands that the end result of any study is a kind of death before the attainment of perfection. Many different types of people have been known to die for either the right reasons or the wrong reasons. The only shame in dying incorrectly is to die a stupid and meaningless death. To die as a warrior means to have crossed swords and either won or lost without any consideration for winning or losing. There is just not enough time, and generally there is not enough strength in the resolve of any man to do otherwise. In all accomplishments of war, the warrior understands that the only real measure of his ability lies in being able to beat men in fights regardless of their nature. Failure in any other area is not to be construed as a true test of a warrior's mettle. The true virtue of strategy is in allowing us to overcome all odds in daily life, and in helping us attain the closest state we can to being one with the supreme power before going into battle. The development of warrior consciousness is an ongoing thing. Each new experience continually leads to new challenges. The way cannot be learned through frivolous contests in which the outcome is for the name of a school or a large trophy. It can only be realized where physical death is a reality. The way of strategy. The way is a specific and determinedly deliberate methodology. The ancient masters must be studied constantly without respite, even when the practitioner thinks he has grasped the knowledge. It is important to realize that technique is not the end of an art. Those good in technique, regardless of the art they pursue, are not necessarily able to teach the true meaning of an art. Beginning students who do not know this and who think that they are being brought to the threshold of understanding are not to blame so much as those who teach without understanding the inner and beginning students who do not know this and who think that they are being brought to the threshold of understanding are not to blame so much as those who teach without understanding the inner and the outer worlds of the art of which they profess to be masters. It is useless for people who look good in play competition to think in terms of being masters. They appear to understand, and as a result, permit their own self-importance to convince them that they are bearers of the truth. Only through a constant search from within, based on one's own lifestyle, can the truth be known. It is absolutely a personal thing. Commercialism does nothing to enhance the reality of truth, although it can lead to one of the start of the path. Although it can lead one to the start of the path. A man cannot understand the perfection and imperfections of his chosen art if he cannot see the value in other arts. Following rules only permits development up to a point in technique. To advance further, the student and artist must learn and seek other knowledge. It makes sense to study other arts as well as those of strategy. Who has not learned something? What? It makes sense to study other arts as well as those of strategy. Who has not learned of something more about themselves by watching the activities of others? To learn the sword, study the guitar. To learn the fist, study commerce. To only study the sword will make you narrow-minded and will keep you from growing outward. Everything is for sale, including men's souls. A man cannot understand the art he is studying if he only looks for the end result without taking the time to delve deeply into the reasoning of the study. There is no purpose in trying to determine whether one is better than another. If anything is anything, then everything is everything. Do not confuse profit with profitability. To sell yourself based on the design of your school symbol is unfair to students and is, moreover, moronic because it fools the unknowing into thinking that skill is based on superficiality. Besides, it is bad karma and it will come back to haunt you. You cannot fool with the spirit of the thing itself. It is a far greater wisdom than man can even understand, can ever understand. Do not confuse profit with profitability. In our society, there are 4 classes of people. Each fulfills appropriate functions, and each is able to attain levels of perfection according to its own means. The specific ranks of the classes in order of their importance to the society are 1. The samurai, 2. The farmers, 3. The artisans, and finally 4. The merchants. Each is respected and disrespected equally by the other classes. The samurai are warriors and live a higher ideal. The study of their weapons is their prime motivation. Farmers are next because they provide the food needed for the masses. Artisans are the craftsmen and makers of weapons and other products. Merchants are a ridiculed class because they produce nothing except profit from the work of others. Yet it must be understood that each has a viable and functional part within the structure of the society and that even though, for example, the warrior class may despise the merchant class, we are all too aware of the need for them to maintain the economy. Money must be made to pay the army. All right, we'll stop there. Quick little 7 pages. Until next time.